Hancock and Kelly.
Welcome to Hancock and Kelly here on your Sunday morning. Great to have you along. On the right today is John Hancock. Good morning, John.
Top of the morning.
And on the left, Michael Kelly. Great to see you, sir.
Good morning.
Before we get started, Michael, can you believe this is the last show before the election? I mean, when we started talking about this, it's been years, of course, but February, we said, oh my gosh, this whole year is all going to be about this. Then came pandemic. Then came 2020, right? Can you believe this is the last one?
No, and I'm grateful. You know, normally during election time, John and I are kind of hoping for an extra 24 hours to be able to do those last minute things. This time, buddy, I was done 3 weeks before we even started.
Yeah, John, thank goodness for that extra hour last night, right? I think it helped us all get ready for the week to come.
Well, you know, it takes a while to make all this happen, Brown. And so I needed that this morning.
Do you want to go ahead and start doing the show on Monday? Would it give you that much more time? Would that be okay? Maybe a whole more day? Okay, sounds good. All right, as we said, only a couple of days left, so let's begin with the latest in the race for the White House.
There's more enthusiasm. The crowds are much bigger.
Make a plan to vote. Vote early. Vote on Election Day. Help get out the vote.
They're right. Americans are voting in record numbers. In fact, more than 9 million people voted early in Texas this year. That's more than the state's total for all of 2016.
It's estimated that over half of the votes that will be cast in this election have already been cast, and we're still a number of days before Election Day. That's really unusual. It's really extraordinary.
A vast majority of states have surpassed their 2016 early vote counts. In Kansas, it's nearly 10 times higher, and in New Hampshire, more than 7 times more. Lines have also formed in Maryland, where early voting began this week. 68-year-old James Brooks just cast a ballot for the first time. What finally got him out? He says he's concerned about his health care.
The medicine is so high, it don't make sense. And I decided to go for who's going to help me for my health-wise.
All these ballots could take time to count, especially those sent by mail. For instance, Michigan's Secretary of State estimates her office will have a full count by Friday, November 6th.
I think it's absolutely critical that Americans understand that we may not know on election night or even for a day or two thereafter exactly who won. And that Americans understand that there is nothing wrong with that.
The vote count continues to climb by the hour. So far, nearly 84 million ballots have been cast. Ray Bogan, Fox 2 News.
Yeah, John, let me update his number there very quickly. As of this morning, over 92 million ballots have been cast in states like Texas, 108% up from last year. So they're already over. So we've dissected everything. Where do you go from here? A couple days left.
Well, you know, it's interesting. I've been tracking the partisan breakdown in all of these battleground states. And 2 weeks ago, Democrats had a massive advantage, still do in Pennsylvania. But in almost every other battleground state, the number of ballots in the last week or so has been the Republican number has been surging. And that tells me that I think there may be some momentum here on the side of President Trump heading into Election Day. President Trump's going to need a huge Election Day turnout in those key battleground states if he's going to win this thing. But I'm starting to think this puppy might be a little closer than people think.
Michael, there's your springboard. Okay, we're just a couple of days out, record turnout expected. You know, everything seems to be going the Democrats' way, but a story in the New York Times this week says insiders on the Democratic side are worried. Why at this point, with everything looking the way it is, would they be worried?
Well, we've known all along, and Democrats, it was a part of our strategy, was to make sure that we turned out our votes early and that we got people to vote early. It's no surprise that the president's coming on. He's been telling his people to vote on Election Day. So now we're starting to see those people start to compute the fact that on Tuesday is Election Day. Look, I think this is shaping up to be a really good night for Joe Biden, but anything can happen when people go to the polls. But if I could do one thing that Hancock normally does, which is mark the tape, fellas, Texas is going to go blue.
Oh, interesting. John's disagreeing with that one, huh?
Yeah. Are we talking $20 or $50 on this, Kelly?
Maybe whatever. I'll wind up having to buy no matter what.
Texas is going to stay red. Trust me.
All right, let's talk some poll numbers here very quickly. Let's put these ones up that got my attention from The Economist, okay? According to their modeling, Biden has a 99% chance of winning the overall vote, and at this point they say he has a 96% chance of winning the Electoral College. Wall Street analysts say the market right now is reflecting a Joe Biden win. So here again, you're talking money, guys. They're all starting to think the same way here, Michael. And but again, the polls, people lie to pollsters. We know that at this point. And I think at the end of this, well, again, we're going to have that discussion we had in 2016. Do we put any credence in these polls?
Well, I think we can put some more credence in the polls than we can in 2016. Donald Trump was an undefined quantity in 2016. He represented a change, somebody who was a disruptor, somebody who was out of the situation that we currently found ourselves in 2016. That's not the case now. This man's got a 4-year record. He's got a worldwide global pandemic, 250,000 Americans who died, an economy that's in shambles, more dissension and unrest than has ever existed. I don't think, while many things feel similar to 2016, I think they're drastically different.
Fellas, here's something I want to bring up here, and really debated bringing up in the first place, but I think we have to. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but a lot of businesses around town boarding up for the election. And as I drive by and I see this, I think, what in the world? This is not some third world country where we're not Venezuela, where it's election day. We got to board up to make sure people don't riot and loot and whatever else happens. John, how in the world did we get to this point to where it's election day, board up companies have to be in this much business?
Well, I mean, we've had a whole year where whenever there's some kind of social unrest and legitimate protest at times, what's come alongside of that is violent looting and violent activity. So, I mean, our recent experience is that when with social unrest has come property damage and looting and fires and theft. So I think it's prudent if there is some social unrest that exists as a result of the election outcome, I think it's just prudent on the part of businesses to be prepared for that eventuality.
Yeah, Michael, this bothers me, though.
Well, how can it not? It bothers all of us. This has been a year of being bothered. Look, we are in the midst of some really ridiculous and unsettled times with gasoline being poured on by the most powerful person on the planet. I'm hopeful that nobody's going to go and act a fool on Election Day. I think that if you're acting a fool, you're already out there doing it, and boy, have we seen plenty of it.
The one question I get all the time, Michael, people say, oh, what's going to happen on election night? Are we going to be living this for the next month or so? My only fear is that the longer this takes to come up with official election results, the more allegations you're going to have of vote tampering. But we have all these election officials who say, it's okay. We don't have to have results that night. What are your thoughts on this taking longer, in Illinois until middle of November to count the votes?
Well, look, this is the place we find ourselves in. I don't like the fact that there's a global pandemic that's killing us. The rules have changed somewhat, so therefore there is going to be somewhat of a delay. I still think, John, I still think that we are going to know on election night who winds up winning the White House. Now, there may be a couple of states that will be continuing to wait on some votes to come back on because it's closer, but I still think we will have a decided victory by the morning when we wake up on Wednesday.
John.
Well, here's the thing. Pennsylvania said it's going to be at least 3 days before they have numbers. That means that if the president carries Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, Iowa, Arizona, Ohio, and loses Michigan and Wisconsin, that means it's all going to be Pennsylvania, and we're all going to be sitting here until at least Friday waiting to know who the president of the United States is. Now, if the president loses one or more of those states I just named, then Michael's right. We're going to know on election night. It's going to be very fascinating.
All right, still to come on Hancock and Kelly. President Trump says we're rounding the corner on COVID. A lot of people think more restrictions, though, are on the way here in St. Louis right after the election. And this time, economists say there is an added problem.
Deep down in Louisiana, close to New Orleans, way back up in the woods among the evergreens, there stood a log cabin made of earth and wood, where lived a country.
To hear more, listen to the podcast. Just search for Hancock and Kelly.
Welcome back to Hancock and Kelly. Fellas, okay, we got an extra hour of sleep last night, but it just hit me. If I was going to run for office, I would back this, getting rid of the time change thing, because when it's dark at 4:30 tonight, I would win 100% of the vote. That's my platform. John Hancock, you pick one issue and you say, I'm staking my claim on this one, I'm going to win the entire vote. What would you put out there?
You get rid of the car tax, the personal property tax. Get rid of it.
Interesting.
Vote for Hancock.
You would do well on that. Michael, what about you?
Protect pre-existing conditions, and that's exactly the mantra the Democrats are using, and it's killing the Republicans.
See, yours are all serious. I would also get rid of those big steel plates they're putting on roads everywhere. Can we work on, how about this one? Can we work on one road at a time in St. Louis?
Hey, how about somebody just synchronizes the lights?
Fellas, let's go as a triumvirate here. We're going to win this election hands down with these platforms right here. All right. The president did say this week that we're turning the corner on the COVID-19 pandemic. Not sure which number he's using to back that up, other than the vaccine might be coming soon. Here's what he said. Take a listen.
He wants to shut down the whole country, and we're rounding the turn. All they want to talk about is COVID. By the way, on November 4th, you won't be hearing so much about it. COVID.
I'm not so sure about that, Michael. Latest numbers, no way to spin this otherwise. Numbers are increasing. Illinois shut down again. I'm just guessing. After this election's over in Missouri, you're going to see more restrictions, because there's no way you're going to put restrictions in place before the election, politically speaking. What are your thoughts on what's going to happen here?
How could we not, John? We hit record infections today. The United States is blowing up. It's a fire. We're watching Europe shut down. I know someone who personally died this week, a 50-year-old gentleman who died from COVID. If the president says it's rounding the corner on this disease, I hope he can remember the 250,000 people out there who died.
John, here's the difficult part, too, because as the economists were saying this week, the numbers of our economy are okay. But if we shut down again, this time the Congress didn't pass anything. We're not going to have the extra unemployment. We're not going to have, whatever money might be coming out to small business owners. This could get into a pinch because we're in lame duck Congress, too.
Yeah, and, I think if people would just behave responsibly, I don't think you have to shut the whole economy down. Wear a mask, folks. Limit your engagement with groups of people. Just don't go to large group settings. But let us have our restaurants. Let us have our carry out. I don't know that it's necessary to shut the whole economy down again if people would just behave responsibly.
John, wouldn't it be great if the president used language like that? Why can an operative sitting in his house in Chesterfield act so professional with decorum and rationale, but we can't get that from the leader of the free world?
Thanks, buddy. I do have my fall wreath behind me.
Bringing people together. Okay, before we take a break, Mike, I want you to address an issue that we haven't gotten into yet here on the show. You're a city guy. Prop D is in the city of St. Louis. Now, this one is being billed as the fair elections in the city of St. Louis issue. In a nutshell, voters could change the way the main politicians are elected in the city. That includes mayor, comptroller, some of the others. It creates a nonpartisan primary, meaning you get to vote on anyone and not just one person, right? You can vote on a bunch. Then you get to vote for the top two in the primary. Okay, your thoughts on this, Michael? That way you could be voting in the primary on what? Mayor Krewson and Tashara Jones. What are your thoughts on how that would work out?
Yeah, so the idea is really to do away with the one-party structure that exists almost completely in the city of St. Louis, and if you go into rural parts of the Missouri, exists. This is an idea that's been pushed by progressives. It's also being pushed by some Republican operatives. The idea is to allow people to do ranked choice voting. Not only can you vote for one, you can vote for as many candidates as you want, and then ultimately there'd be a runoff. I personally am opposed to it. I am supportive of the Black Caucus and the Board of Aldermen's position, and that, number one, this will dilute people's representation, destroys the party system, and it is not a tested process. The only place this has been implemented in the entire country is the thriving metropolis of Boise, Idaho.
I kind of get it, though, John, because, for some of these races come general election, the Democrats don't have any competition. For some of the Republican districts in outstate Missouri, there's no competition, so at least there's something to vote for.
Yeah, and things are great in Boise right now. I like this because right now you get to the general election and whoever won that Democrat primary is elected mayor or comptroller or president of the board. And, you know, this allows more people to participate because general elections have higher turnout. If you've got the top two candidates running off, that's the way to go.
All right, still to come here on Hancock and Kelly. The Girl Scouts send out a nice tweet congratulating Amy Coney Barrett for her big accomplishment. They got blasted on social media and deleted that tweet. We'll discuss what lesson the girls might have learned straight ahead. Welcome back to Hancock and Kelly. We've talked a lot about the cancel culture here on Hancock and Kelly, and I don't think those guys like it too much. So here's a story heating up this weekend. The Girl Scouts sent out a tweet this past week congratulating Amy Coney Barrett on becoming the 5th woman appointed to the Supreme Court. All they said was, congratulations, Amy Coney Barrett, on becoming the 5th woman to the Supreme Court. Okay, that's pretty basic. Well, they got blasted, so they deleted it, which made it even worse. John, your thoughts on this one? I mean, there was nothing even controversial that I could even see there, even congratulating a woman. I don't even get how far we've come with this whole cancel culture.
Well, social media, you know, people are gonna erupt, and they're gonna. What we all need to do is just grow a little bit of a spine out there. Yeah, let them attack you, let them criticize you, do whatever they want to do, but don't give in. I think it's the giving in that concerns me. Are there going to be wacky folks on the left and on the right that are out there attacking people on social media? Yeah. If you don't want to be attacked, get off of social media. But if you're going to be on social media, get a spine, get a backbone, stand up out there.
Yeah, Michael, people saying, oh, don't buy Girl Scout cookies this year. Oh, so let's punish the poor girls for, that doesn't work either.
Punish the women for supporting the fact that a female went on to the Supreme Court. Look, I don't think she should be there. I think the process the Republicans played was ridiculous and rigged. But at the end of the day, she was a female who went to the Supreme Court, and the Girl Scouts honored her. Yeah, this is cancel culture gone amok.
Okay, so let's take a different approach here. A political ad that also blew up this week, I think we can all appreciate. Roll the tape. We need this today.
I'm Chris Peterson. And I'm Spencer Cox. We are currently in the final days of campaigning against each other to be your next governor.
And while I think you should vote for me,
Yeah, but really you should vote for me.
there are some things we both agree on.
We can debate issues without degrading each other's character.
We can disagree without hating each other.
And win or lose in Utah, we work together.
So let's show the country that there's a better way.
My name's Chris Peterson.
And I'm Spencer Cox.
And we approve this message.
Fellas, I don't care who wins that race. Both of those guys won. Michael, you're up first on this one.
Well, I think it's what people are dying for. You know, look, at the end of the day, we all come to different conclusions in life from the processes and the life experience that we've had. It doesn't mean that while John is wrong with everything he thinks, it doesn't mean he's bad or he wants to destroy Missouri or the United States. Look, this idea that it's all or nothing and we have to hold on to our side of the poll is going to kill us, and it will ultimately end democracy. Kudos to these two guys.
John.
It's the way the country's supposed to work. You can disagree, but you got to get things done. And ultimately, we put the people first. That's the way it's supposed to work. And when we do it that way, life is good.
Yeah, and hopefully we see more of that at least next time around. All right, still to come on Hancock and Kelly, it is time for final thoughts. So let's leave you today with a nice little look. The Brussels Ferry crossing the Illinois River in Grafton. This view captured by the BMW of West St. Louis drone Fox. We're in the final countdown to Election Day, just a couple of days away. What a great day for a walk on the Katy Trail or a road trip, but we got to get your final thoughts first. Michael Kelly, you're up first.
Well, this weekend I had an opportunity to go watch my nephew Ryan Phillips and his fiance, now bride Mallory, get betrothed to each other.
Hey.
And I know one of the first things they're doing on Tuesday is voting. And whether or not you're just starting your life together, you're in the middle of your life, or you're in the twilight, this is the most important election of our lifetimes. You want to be a part of this. Regardless of who you're going to support, you need to show up and vote, vote, vote.
John Hancock.
Yeah, when I got married, voting was the first thing I thought about, too. So we're either going to have a 74-year-old president or a 78-year-old president. We just had a 76-year-old manager hired by the White Sox, Tony La Russa. That means 80 is the new 40, Brown. That makes me 28 years old. I've never felt better.
You're going to have a midlife crisis coming up here pretty soon. All right, sounds good. Hey, thanks for joining us today for Hancock and Kelly, the last show before the election. What are we going to talk about next week? If you missed any part of the show, remember you can download it on your smartphone. Search out Hancock or Kelly. Fox News Sunday with Chris Wallace is next. Have a wonderful weekend. Get out, enjoy this next week. 70s after the election. Enjoy it. We'll see you back here.